The fifth declension. Once upon a time, very far under the sea, there was a little country named Latin. Latin was a very small country, made up of only 5 provinces, named First Declension, Second Declension, Third Declension, Fourth Declension, and Fifth Declension, which was the smallest of them all. Now, Fifth Declension was a very small state, made up of only one little city, but it had everything one could need. It had a grocery, clothing store, and everything else one could possibly want in a small town. It even had its own city hall, where laws of all sorts were passed, including the most important, which stated that all citizens living in Fifth Declension must have a thematic E in their name. Now, Fifth Declension, regardless of its charm, had a very small population, and only 10 or so of its citizens were often seen outside of their houses. Of these fish, there was a very intelligent little fish named Res Rei. Res Rei was one of the most popular fish in all of Fifth Declension, and was the daughter of Space Spei and Dies Diei. Her father Dies was a very interesting fish in his own right, as he was the only male in all of Fifth Declension, a fact that baffled scientists from all over. Now, Res took after her father in many ways. Like him, she was very smart and at the top of her class, but most notably, her and her father were the only 2 in all of Fifth Declension who could be declined in the singular and plural. Res, for instance, was declined Res, Rei, Rei, Rem, Re, Brace, Rerum, Rebus, Race, Rebus, while her father was declined Dies, Diei, Diei, Diem, Die, Dies, Dierum, Diebus, Dies, Diebus. They were the only 2 fish in the whole town with this distinction. However, 8 other fish, named Achies, Ephigies, Eluies, Facies, Glacies, Ceries, Species, and Space, were able to decline in all of the singular forms, as well as the nominative and accusative plural. Their endings were as follows: ace, ae, m, a, ace, nothing, nothing, ace, nothing. But all of the other fish living in First Declension only had their singular forms. Everything was going well in Fifth Declension land until one day it was discovered that there were 2 double agents in their midst. Materies and Saiwitias were selling government secrets to a shady shark from First Declension. In First Declension, they had changed their names to Materia and Saiwitia to avoid suspicion. They were trying to spark war in the country by accusing the Fifth Declension of stealing the ways other declensions decline. They said that like First Declension, Fifth Declension had forms in the accusative and dative singular, and that like every other declension, they had stolen the M following the thematic vowel for the accusative singular. They also said that like Third Declension, they had an E as their form in the ablative singular. They said that they stole from First and Second by using their thematic vowel plus RUM in genitive singular, and that they stole from Third and Fourth Declensions by having the BUS in the dative and ablative plural. And they also accused them from stealing from Third Declension by having an ES in the nominative and accusative plural. Res, when he found out about this, was very upset, as he loved his declension very much. Unable to bear his betrayal, and with an overwhelming desire to show just how fabulous Fifth Declension was, Res duplicated himself into each one of his forms to show how they could be used as a direct object in the accusative or as a subject in the nominative, just like any other declension. He wanted to show that they had not stolen, merely repurposed to make themselves better. He attacked the shark and the 2 spies and stopped all conflict from breaking out throughout the land. When his declension found out, they were very happy that he had stopped such a terrible thing from happening, and he was welcomed home with great joy and a party, and they all lived happily ever after. The end.